Gentlemen, the Senate's approval of the Wood River project is a momentous occasion. It means a new Texas.
Perhaps a new Texas for the homesteaders, Your Excellency. But rule for the cattlemen who pioneered this territory and built a great empire.
As a cattleman, you quite naturally resent the thought of the Old West changing.
I was sent to Congress by other cattlemen who believe as I do.
President Roosevelt's objective in signing the reclamation bill is to aid the cattlemen through irrigation, as well as the settlers who will build their homes on the lands allotted them. These irrigation works will be built by the national government. Each state, however, will control and regulate the distributing of the land and the homestead employment. Mr. Allison, you must understand the many problems confronting an enterprise of this scale.
I do understand, Your Excellency, and I appreciate your confidence.
You came to me well recommended. Homestead labor under your supervision shall be given preference in the construction work, with one purpose kept in mind: the returning of American people to American soil.
When this land rush hits Wood River, us cattlemen might as well move out.
Well, I ain't letting any bunch of nestlers take my grazing land away, Tex. I came here first, and I'm gonna stay here.
I'm feeling the same way about it, Bull. If we gotta fight, we'll fight.
Jed, you're head of the organization. What's your opinion?
Well, we've always been annoyed by a few nesters and squatters, but this is serious. If we lose our free grazing range, we're ruined.
That's where you're wrong, Tyler. The signing of the Reclamation Act is the best thing that ever happened to the West.
What do you know about it, Morgan? You're not a cattleman.
Neither are you. You do a lot of talking. But everyone in this group knows that you haven't done an honest day's work since you started hanging out at Bill Starkey's Emporium. Now listen to me. President Teddy Roosevelt lived in the West long enough to realize that if the big rivers could be dammed and the waters used for irrigation, a great Western empire could be built. Instead of using thousands of acres of dried-up rangeland, you'll be able to feed your herds on the land that you already own.
It's going to take years to build these dams. In the meantime, homesteaders will move in, and we won't have any place to run our cattle.
Yeah, we can't let them force us out. We'll fight them.
That's the spirit. You'll get the except women and children.
Well, what are we waiting for? It's the Three Mesquiteers.
He lost his rings.
Certainly obliged to you, men.
It's nothing, senor.
Glad to give you a hand, neighbor.
My name is Kansas Jones. This is my daughter, June, my son, Tim. We're planning on taking up a homestead in Wood River Valley.
Oh, I'm glad to meet you. I'm Stony Brooke. These odd-looking gents are Rusty Jocelyn and Ronaldo.
Glad to know you.
How do you do?
It is a great pleasure to meet one so charming as you, senorita.
Miss Jones, don't believe anything he says. Around Wood River, we call him Don Juan.
I've heard about you and your two friends. You're known as the Three Mesquiteers, aren't you?
The Three Mesquiteers? Gee, I always wanted to meet you. Ever since Pa told me how you caught those bank robbers.
Well, now, I ain't one to brag much, Bub, but I practically captured them robbers single-handed myself. Of course, Stony and Ronaldo come in to pick up the wounded and put the handcuffs on them. But I guess that was about one of the greatest battles of my career as deputy.
Rusty is a man of a very few words.
Mr. Jones, have you picked out a location for your homestead yet?
Yep, and I'm planning to get a job just as soon as they start work on the dam.
I expect to help, too, by getting work in town.
Well, what kind of...
Yes, what kind of work do you do, miss?
I do secretarial work. I used to work in a newspaper office back home.
Well, that's fine. As soon as you get to town, stop and have a talk with Jefferson Morgan. He's the publisher of the Gazette.
Yes, he's a very fine man. I'm sure he'll do something for you.
Yes, miss. Just tell him you met up with us.
Thank you very much.
This sure is our lucky day. Well, thanks again, friend. And I hope we see you sometime. Come to you. There you go. Thank you. Adios.
Now, you two stop your lollygagging. We got a loose horse to pick up.
I'll see you boys later. There's an important letter due at the post office. Rusty, since when Stoney has gone into the mail order business?
Search me. Senor Ronaldo, I just happened to recollect. I got to pay a fella a bill. I'll see you.
Hello, Freckles.
Hello, Stoney.
Well, hello, Jeff. How are things going?
Can't complain. Everything's fine. Picking up every day.
Well, that's just dandy. You know, it's exactly what I want to talk to you about. You know, Jeff, Wood River is growing by leaps and bounds, and you should do something to keep up with the wheels of progress.
And what have you got up your sleeve this time?
Nothing, Jeff. Nothing at all. I just thought your paper might use a little feminine touch around here, you know, so...
Oh, yes, I know. She's a very beautiful girl and needs a job.
Well, you sort of guessed it, but what... Hey, Jeff, don't say anything to Rusty about me being here, will you?
Hello, Jeff. How's the publishing business?
Circulation's picking up every day, Rusty.
Yeah. Now, you know, Jeff, my grandpappy always said to me, don't grow old waiting for success to catch up with you. You know, there's a lot of new folks coming into our valley. And a lot of women folk among them, too.
And you think a feminine touch in the paper would appeal to them?
Well, now, that's just it exactly. They're always interested in new recipes and how them hairdos are fixed up and all.
Here comes Ronaldo. Right?
Como está, my good friend? All over Wood River Valley, I hear many fine compliments of your paper.
Thank you, Ronaldo. I try to keep abreast of the times.
Ah, you're a very smart man to do that, Senor Jeff. There is only one more thing you need to make the Gazette the greatest paper of the West.
A feminine touch would help.
Caramba, that is my idea. Look, in my country, the newspapers have many pages of styles with many pictures of beautiful senoritas. That's what you need. You do that and you'll see. The women will make their husbands buy your paper twice as quick as you can print it.
It sounds all right. But I'd have to get a hold of a girl to run that department for me and...
Ah, that is where I come in. I know just the girl you want. Smart and beautiful. She is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen in your life. And she has worked in newspaper. What you think, eh?
I think you're a little bit loco. Now, what I want to know is, what are you three talking about?
The same girl.
All right, she's got the job.
Well, I guess I got that done.
Very well done, June.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Your prediction about increased circulation has come true.
What's the crowd doing over there in front of the stage office?
They're waiting for Clay Allison, supervisor of irrigation. That means jobs for the men.
Well, the homesteaders will certainly be glad to be working again.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. The cattlemen are going to fight for the grazing ground. But this new plan of irrigation, it will help everybody in time.
That's true, Ronaldo, but the cattlemen aren't going to exchange what they already have for a promise.
Well, let's hope Allison will provide the solution. Mr. Allison, my name is Jeff Morgan, publisher of the Wood River Gazette, and I've been delegated to extend to you our most cordial welcomes.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
What about the dam? When do we go to work?
The Wood River project is definitely going through as planned. Work will begin as soon as the government engineer gets here and completes a preliminary survey. Each homesteader will be given enough work when work starts to enable him to build a house and to feed and clothe his family.
Well, now, how do you like that, man?
Very fine speech, Mr. Allison.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Oh, allow me to introduce the Three Mesquiteers, who own one of the largest cattle ranches in this country. Stony Brooke,
Glad to know you.
Rusty Joslin,
Joslin?
and Ronaldo.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Allison, I'm Jed Tyler, president of the Cattlemen's Association. I'd like to have a few words with you.
Why, certainly.
This sort of thing is what I want to talk to you about, Mr. Allison. It's only a sample of the lawlessness that has come to Wood River with the homesteaders.
Similar lawless conditions have existed in every boom town during the history of the West, Mr. Tyler. However, I'll have an immediate talk with the owner of the Emporium.
But they're a quarrelsome, gunfighting bad bunch that hang out at Belstocky's place.
Yes, that was her manager, Duke Plummer, that just plugged that homesteader.
I'll take my chances.
I think we better go along and see that dude don't get in any trouble.
You're under arrest, Plummer.
What?
And I'm going to have to hold you until the coroner's jury investigates the killing of that there homesteader.
Are you trying to be funny? I shot in self-defense, and a dozen people will swear to it.
Maybe so, Duke. But I've warned you about gunplay. Turn over your gun.
You've got a lot of nerve trying to arrest me, Dan. Quit your kidding and have a drink on the house. It's too warm to argue.
I said you're under arrest, and I mean it.
If I'm under arrest, suppose you try taking me to jail.
I saw this man deliberately shoot a homesteader. If you don't see fit to do your duty, I'll have to do it for you.
So you want to be a hero, eh? Well, maybe a little hot lead will change your mind.
Constable, I don't think he'll give you any trouble.
Much obliged to you. Come on.
I'm convinced that the governor couldn't have sent a better man down here.
Shake, Allison, you're all right. I'm mighty glad we're in the same outfit.
I'll return the compliment, Rusty. You three chaps didn't do so bad. Where will I find the owner, Bill Starkey?
I'm Bill Starkey. What's on your mind?
Just this. I'll give you 24 hours to decide on running this place properly, or we'll be compelled to close you down completely.
I'm willing to cooperate. Perhaps we'd better talk this over in my office. You sure put on a great show, Clay. For a minute, you almost had me fooled.
It's important that no one knows I'm connected with you and Duke. I'll arrange to have him released in the next couple of days.
You know, everything worked out just the way you figured. The cattlemen and the homesteaders are at each other's throats.
Keep it that way. That's our only chance.
You don't have to worry. We pick good men for this job.
Fine. I'll see that the dam is delayed. Winter's not far off, and without work or money to live on, the homesteaders will have to vacate the land.
Our boys will file on every good piece of property in the valley.
When we're ready to sell, we can name our own price. I don't want to seem drastic, but the welfare of the homesteaders must be considered above everything.
You can depend on me.
There'll be no more trouble at the Emporium.
Now, if we could only get the homesteaders and the cattlemen to understand each other's problems, we'd be doing something.
I have one big idea.
Well, tie a rope on it before it gets away.
We will give a big party at our ranch, and we'll invite both the homesteaders and the cattlemen.
An excellent idea.
We'll go down to the Gazette and get Jeff to print up a general invitation.
See.
Say, won't that shindig sort of put a crimp in things?
I think we can use it to very good advantage.
All right, folks, everybody dance.
Most of the people here are homesteaders. What happened to all the cattlemen that you invited?
Well, they might be a little bit shy about meeting strangers. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me,
If you're looking for June, she's not here.
How do you know?
I have already looked very carefully.
Maybe they didn't see the invitation.
Now, don't go getting all bothered. Maybe they're taking a little extra time to get all prettied up.
Yeah, well, I think I'll make sure.
How do I look, June? Oh, swell, Tim. Say, don't cowboys ever have clean ears?
Aw, sis.
You go right in and scrub those ears until they're clean.
Kind of different feeling than being cooped up in a stuffy city, ain't it, June?
Oh, it certainly is, Dad. And everything's working out just as we planned.
This is private property. Get your stuff packed and start moving.
I'm Kansas Jones. The government let me homestead this property.
We're not interested in what the government says. This is our rangeland, and we aim to keep it. Come on, Harris. Let's load them out.
You touch anything and I'll...
Oh, Tim! Oh, no!
Tim, Tim, speak to me. Tim, are you all right? Tim.
What's the matter with it?
Keep your hands off him. The Three Mesquiteers, who was going to bring peace to the cattlemen and the homesteaders. You gave this party so that we could be friends. Well, where are the cattlemen?
Well, can't
I'll tell you where they are. They're out shooting and raiding like they did to my boy Tim. That's the real reason you gave this party.
You're wrong, Kansas.
All we wanted was a chance to work the ground and live like human beings. But no, you cattlemen wasn't satisfied. You wanted to get rid of us, every one of us homesteaders, just like I'm going to get rid of you.
Folks, I think we better call it a night.
Look,
The cattlemen are moving their herds today. We'll stampede them and make it look like the homesteaders did it.
I can't figure it out. Kansas swore to me that not one of the homesteaders has made a move. Oh, they were hysterical the night Tim was shot, but they've gotten over that.
And I talked with every one of them cattlemen. They said they hadn't done a thing.
Donde hay hombres, hay moscas también.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What?
Oh, it means, as you would say, there is a joker in the deck.
Look, it all points to one thing. There's someone who'll profit by causing trouble between the cattlemen and the homesteaders.
Amigos, there is one place where you can always find troublemakers.
Where?
The Emporium.
Well, now the Emporium stands to make a lot of money off of these homesteader fellas. Why should Belle Starkey want to run them out?
Unless there's a more important reason.
That is right.
Listen, Bub. My grandpappy always said to me, son, if you can't lick 'em, join up with 'em. Get it?
Where are you going?
To the Emporium.
Well, your luck's not running so good, Stony.
If it doesn't change pretty soon, I'll have to be looking for a new bankroll.
Everybody up to the bar. I'm a free man again, and I'm celebrating.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Duke.
You sure must have had a lot of pull to get that coroner's jury to acquit you.
You don't know the half of it. I said everybody up to the bar, Stony.
I heard you, but you know I don't drink, Duke. Anyhow, I have to keep a clear head to win back some of this money I've been losing.
Stony ain't meaning to offend you, Duke. He's a good guy and a good spender. Why don't you two shake hands and be friends?
I'm agreeable, Duke.
How about going on with the game, Stony?
Well, that suits me.
Boys are all ready.
You better get out in a hurry and stop that stage.
It'll be just too bad for you if those real government engineers show up.
I'll bet 100.
Well, I'll call if you'll take my IOU. I'm broke.
Well, I guess that's all right. Your credit is good. I'm out.
Perhaps we have something to say about this, Stony.
Yeah, we're getting mighty fed up on you gambling away our money.
What do you mean, your money? The account's in all three names at the bank. I've got as much right to draw on it as you have.
Maybe so, amigo. But that is only so long as you do the fair share of the work. For the past 3 days, you have not even been near the rancho.
If I don't want to go back to my own ranch, that's my business, and I don't need a guardian. 3 jacks.
I've got a straight.
See? If you'd have listened to us, you wouldn't have lost your money.
I'm over 21, and I don't need your advice.
Well, you don't have to get tough about it. You played that hand like you weren't even dry behind the ears.
That's my funeral, not yours.
You act like a foolish little boy. Stony, for many years, we all have been good friends.
Yeah, and I'm about ready to call the whole deal off, too.
Very well. If that's the way you feel about it, we'll call it off.
I'll take mine in cash.
Drop that coat. Put up your hand.
Get out, you two. This is a holdup.
You can't delay us. We're government engineers.
Shut up. Here's your credentials. Come on, get mounted. You're going for a little trip.
You get in the coach. You drive. You'll get your instructions from Bell Starkey at Wood River.
How do you do, Mr. Martin? We're certainly glad to see you. Hello, Metcalf. Mr. Morgan, this is Mr. Martin, Mr. Metcalf.
How do you do, sir? Glad
Come
to
on
know
in,
you.
boys.
And about you.
Still losing, Stony?
Yep. This is the last of the bankroll. There isn't any more where this came from.
Well, if you go broke, let me know. Maybe I can tip you off how you can pick up some easy money.
Thanks. I'm liable to take you up on that. Well, boys, I guess my credit's still good. I'm buying. Come on, Tex. Give me the bottle. I'll do the pouring. Well, I guess I'll turn in. I'll pay for this in the morning. Good night, Belle.
Good night, Stony.
Duke.
Good night, Stony.
Night, Stony.
You've no right to run us hard.
Shut up and keep loading that wagon. Get on your horses and get out of here.
Come on out of that tent. Get your team harness and start moving. Come on, get moving. I'm telling you, Bill, every place we went, we run into that masked rider.
What are you fellas trying to hand me?
I tell you, it's the truth.
Yeah, we've all been running into him.
They can't all be crazy.
It's incredible.
It sounds incredible, but the boys stuck to their story.
We'll be in a fine spot if the masked rider keeps on helping the homesteaders.
The cattlemen and the homesteaders will wind up being pals.
We'll stop that.
I'll throw a bombshell into this town that'll blow those homesteaders from here to the Rio Grande.
What are you going to do?
Read it in tomorrow's bulletin.
Oh, the work on the dam's been called off.
It's true. And I heard there wouldn't be any work on the dam till after this winter.
Something must be done at once, Mr. Morgan. The homesteaders and their families are in want.
I'll communicate with the governor at once.
Oh, they postponed the work on the dam. Men, the government's postponed the work on the dam. Bill, the government's postponed work on the dam.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. We may not have any work till next spring.
Let's talk to Allison. He's got to do something about it.
I feel just as bad about the postponement as you do, folks.
But the government promised us work.
We can't hold out much longer. Our families will starve.
We'll never last through the winter in tents.
No. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I only represent the state. The dam is a federal project.
What are these engineers stalling for?
I've known Mr. Martin for years, and if he thinks it's unsafe to start the dam at this time, you can rely upon his judgment.
Folks, I have good news for you. I just received a message from the governor, and he has authorized a state relief fund of $100,000 to finance your families through the winter.
Let me congratulate you, Mr. Morgan. The homesteaders in this valley owe you a debt of gratitude they can never repay.
Wait a minute. How do we know that this ain't just another stall?
Why, certainly.
He's right, man. I saw the governor's wire.
Well, just when does this relief money get here?
Within the next few days, it will be delivered to Mr. Allison for distribution.
All right.
Yes, sir. That's the whole thing.
$100,000 is a lot of money, Duke.
Yeah, it is a lot of money.
It's going to mean a lot to the homesteaders. They'll be able to build cabins and get through the winter in nice shape.
That's where you're wrong, Stony. Still broke?
What do you think?
Maybe we can do something about it. Are you interested?
Are you thinking of that 100,000?
Maybe. I'll talk with you later on.
Well, here's a setup. Plummer's planning on robbing the stagecoach that's carrying that relief money.
Oh, no. We'll do something about that.
We're not going to. Look, it's easy enough to stop Plummer. What we've got to do is find out who's giving him orders.
Then Plummer isn't the boss?
No, he's only the front man. There's somebody much smarter than Plummer in back of all this trouble.
You got any IDs, son?
Yeah. We're going to help him rob the stagecoach.
What? What?
Why, sure. We'll help him rob the stagecoach. It might be our only chance to find out who their leader is.
Ah, then the holdup will be the key to the situation.
That's right. Now, look, I might not get tipped off till the last minute, so you fellas stick kind of close, will you?
I'll get her done all right, Buck.
We know it.
Get back in there and keep quiet.
Not bad, Tex. The big boss ought to give us a raise for this.
Yeah. In there.
See here, Dawson, how long do you intend keeping us here?
Oh, maybe another couple of weeks. Then you'll be turned loose.
Kidnapping a government engineer is a very serious offense.
Quit shooting off your mouth, Martin, and sit down. You're lucky you're not under 6 foot of ground.
What do you want to do with these hombres?
I got to hold them till I hear from the chief.
Well, that's an interesting collection of prisoners you got there, Tex. You ought to hire a jail.
Yeah, I'll take the money and put it in a safe place.
Oh, it's safe enough with me. The only person I want to turn this money over to is the chief. I'll take no chances on losing my cut.
There ain't none of us ever seen him, and neither will you. I take my orders from Duke. He told me to take charge of the money. Hand it over.
I'm not that foolish. This holdup was my idea. I'll take care of the money.
You kind of overplayed your hand, didn't you, Stony?
Perhaps you are very much mistaken, Senor Tex. It is you who have overplayed your hand.
All right, keep him up.
But I don't understand. You will as soon as you get to Wood River. Tie this gang up. Those two dudes you saw are the real engineers.
Then the men with Allison are fakes.
Allison's in back of all this trouble.
Yeah? Well, I'll get to that, hombre.
Look, you and Ronaldo take the stagecoach back to town. I'm going on ahead.
Well, now you'll have to hurry, Stoney, because if that guard that got away tells the homesteaders about the robbery, they'll think that the cattlemen have got something to do with it, and they're liable to get into a ruckus.
Stoney, you are a cattleman. The homesteaders will never believe you.
No, but they'll believe the masked rider.
Now remember, Bub, take it easy.
Right.
Allison. The stage was stuck up and the relief money stolen.
Did you recognize any of them?
No, I didn't recognize any of the gang. There was a bunch of them. I was lucky to get away myself. There you are.
That's what I'm going to tell you.
Morgan, the relief money's been stolen, and it looks like the homesteaders are going to start a riot.
Another trick of the cattlemen to starve us out. I tell you, it's time for a showdown. Let's give them a dose of their own medicine, then.
This is the worst possible thing that you sent us to do, Kansas. An outbreak like this would cause the government to abandon the project.
We won't be here to get any benefits of the damn Morgan, so it don't make any difference.
Dad, you've got to listen to Mr. Morgan. He's a friend of the governor's, and he...
I'm through with promises and alibis. Come on.
relief money will be here any minute.
How do we know this ain't just another stall?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Wait a minute, men.
Masked Rider's always been our friend. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Men, the cattlemen aren't to blame for your troubles. The man responsible is Allison.
What? This is ridiculous. Who are you trying to cover up for?
You're all through, Allison. You've been trying to drive these homesteaders out of the valley so your own men could take it over. That's why you hired those 2 phony engineers so they could postpone work on the dam.
Stony Brooke.
You're not going to take the word of a cattleman.
No.
Of course we're not.
I can prove everything as soon as the stagecoach gets here.
We ain't aiming to be made fools out of any longer. Come on, man.
Yeah. Here's your relief money, and here's the 2 real engineers.
We'll clean out the Emporium.
Bill.
Set him up, Bob, that bushwhacker.
Well, boys, I done it again.
Well, Kansas, it looks all right now.
Well, you're all set, boy. No more worries. No worries. Well, that's very...
Take a look at that.
Looks pretty good, June. But won't the folks think that a newspaper publisher is kind of conceited, putting himself in headlines?
Oh, no. You deserve that, Mr. Morgan.
Of course you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Hello, folks. We just dropped by to say so long.
Well, surely you're not leaving just when everything's peaceful and quiet.
That's when we always leave, ma'am.
Ronaldo has a friend down in New Mexico, wants us to visit him. It'll be a vacation for us.
It's not exactly vacation. There are a few more details I forget to explain.
Here it comes now, miss.
My friend Jose, he's in jail.
Well, let him stay in jail.
But no! They accuse him of killing 2 men. And poor Jose, he's innocent.
Well, we can't help a man in New Mexico by staying in Texas.
Trouble, trouble, and more trouble.
Rusty, aren't you going with him?
Eh? Oh. Hi-ho, Dinah!